The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Put almost 60 points on two Division I teams, so they certainly are moving the football and scoring points, and are been very proficient on offense, and then of course defensively they have given us fits every year. We've made their linebackers all conference every year after our game because of how many tackles they've made, and so they're sound. They're very well coached. Coach Hamilton does a great job with them, and of course after playing back-to-back Division I games, I'm sure they'll, especially after they look at our video from Wayne State, they'll say, wow, this is we got a chance in this one, and they do, and we're going to have to play well, and we're going to have to play harder and better, and hope we can show some improvement. If we don't, we'll get beat.
How much of their offense and its effectiveness is about having a senior quarterback, two senior wingbacks, and a senior fullback?
Well, there's no question that experience helps in what they're trying to do, because it's a lot of reads, it's a lot of dependency upon each other. The thing that impresses me, the offensive line coming off the ball and hitting people in the nose and just knocking the line of scrimmage back. But they'll give us some wrinkles that we hadn't seen before. They always do. They'll come up with a plan that will give us a challenge, and if we play as high as we've been playing, we'll be in trouble.
How do you correct what happened at Wayne State, and what steps have you taken early in the week?
Well, we've tried to go back to the same things that we've been talking about the whole thing, and that's the whole time, and that's blocking and tackling, and try to improve in just basic fundamentals, which is, we're a young football team. We've only had 4 weeks now of fundamental practice, and it's been cut up by travel and games and all that, and so we haven't had much of a chance to get better, and so we're just hoping that we can continue to work to get better and not be an easy take like we were at Wayne State. We were pretty easy.
Would you attribute some of the lapses defensively to the fact that you are playing a lot of new guys that may not understand their roles in the defense?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I don't think that's all of it. I think a lot of it is just lack of focus. We lined up wrong probably 15 times in that ball game where somebody lined up wrong. And and I'm saying let's simplify, and I look at the call sheet and can't be much more simpler. And so it's just. But a lot of them are new, and we probably played 7 or 8 guys that hadn't ever been in a Carson-Newman away game before, and they showed up pretty good.
Do you think that teams are starting to adjust a little bit to the fact that DeAndre Thomas last year was such a proficient quarterback?
Well, I don't know. We're still getting 450 yards, so 450 yards, no turnovers should win a ball game. And but the breakdowns, kicking game wise, equated when you put defense and breakdowns in the kicking game, equated to probably mistakes. Our mistakes on defense in the kicking game probably equated to 28 points, and you can't give up 28 and win a ball game. Kicking game itself gave up 14.
How do you ensure that the players' minds are in the right spot? First week there was a lot of fumbles. This week it seemed like a couple costly penalties, and then some undisciplined play. How do you instill the mental aspect back into them?
Well, you do the same thing you've been doing the whole time, except now we say it with a little more bite to it. And there's going to be some, when you always hope that guys do it because they want to. That's what you're always aiming for. As a coach, you always want guys to do things because they want to, and it's important to them. If you see signs that that's not happening, you got to do one or two things. You got to find guys that do want to, that's got the heart to do it. Or those guys that aren't doing it, you got to change your approach with them. And evidently the inside-out approach is not working too good for them. So you got to do a little bit of outside in, like hit them in the nose. No, like challenging them more. You got to challenge them more physically. We'll have a very challenging physical practice today, and not all of it, but parts of it. And because we've got to, we got to get better. We just got to get better.
How do you think the team handled maybe the road aspect of it, having to travel on the bus? I know that there was a couple-hour delay when you were in Cincinnati. How do you think the players handled maybe an opportunity to bond?
Well, it was a 3-hour delay, and you don't when you move 2 miles in 2.5 hours. This is basically what we did. There was no complaining or anything like that, which is very impressive. And the majority of our guys have got it together, but we got a handful of guys that don't understand. It's the same old story. Somebody did something to me, so I have the right to do something to them because this is about me. Kind of like a lot of us in life. We think that we deserve to not be tested. And the truth of it is, the test is what makes us who we are, and so we got to respond to tests and respond the right way. And if we respond selfishly, then that's what we'll get out of it. If we respond as somebody that is going to stick to doing it right, because right is still right and wrong is still wrong. And if we'll stick to that, then eventually he'll start paying us back.
Last year at this point, you had 6 takeaways. This year, Kyler Fry is a fumble recovery. How do you generate some more pressure on the ball and force a team to give it to you?
Well, I think the key is, like you said, we got to get pressure on the ball and we got to hit somebody. The ball usually comes loose when they're concerned about you pressuring the point of attack, and we haven't done that, not even close. And so, or at least Saturday we didn't. And so you got to pressure the point of attack, whether that's the passer sitting in the pocket throwing it, or whether it's everywhere the ball is. Wherever the ball is, we got to have some orange bullets getting around that ball, and that's those orange helmets we got on, and we haven't done that.
Talked in the past about not wanting for one game to beat you twice. How do you avoid letting that happen against Brevard?
It's not going to happen. We're not going. That's not going to happen to us this week as far as our effort and everything. Now, Brevard's a good challenge, and they may beat us. And they're a good football team. We've always struggled over there. We're not going to go. I don't think we'll go lay an egg. I think we'll play hard.
What's the most worrisome thing to you about the Tornadoes?
Well, if they scored 60 points almost on 2 Division I's, and I worry about us finding some way to slow them down, because they sure are moving the ball and getting a lot of yardage. So and it wasn't just any old Division I's. Those 2 pretty good football teams, up and coming football teams, and so we're going to have to figure out how we can play a little better fundamental football. We hadn't seen anything like what Brevard does. They're blocking low, they're cutting people, and most defensive players don't like that, and I know we won't like it because we're playing so daggone high. It's unbelievable. We're falling like a bunch of trees, boom, boom, boom. So we got to get better.